All right, we have Geometry B, Unit 5, Circles, Lesson 7, Trigonometry and Circles. What this lesson is about circumference and area. In polynomials, your polygons, you're familiar with perimeter. Well, circumference is the perimeter of a circle. It is the distance around a circle. Now, we can't talk about straight edges and adding them all up because a circle doesn't have straight edges. But here's a little bit of a justification for why the formula for the perimeter of a circle or circumference of a circle is what it is. First of all, we have the definition of pi. Pi is defined as the circumference, the distance around the circle, divided by its diameter, right? Which is 2 pi r. So circumference divided by 2 pi r equals pi. Okay? And circumference divided by the diameter equals pi. And let's rewrite that diameter as 2 pi r. 2 pi r better than 1, right? Or 2r. Circumference is 2r, not 2 pi r. Okay? So 2r, two radiuses make a diameter right here. Diameter. Now it looks like a smiley face if you look at it. All right? And so what we notice here is that if I take the circumference of this circle and divide by its diameter, then the distance, if the diameter is 1, then the ratio is pi. Pi divided by 1 is pi. Okay, so the ratio, these two being, all circles are similar. We learned that. Circumference divided by diameter equals pi divided by 1. Because they're similar triangles, right? Or circumference equals pi d, or circumference equals 2 pi r, because the diameter is 2r. So this is the formula for the circumference of a circle, okay? Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Just remember, 2 pi r better than 1. Let's see how we use it, okay? So first, let's change colors here. If the radius is 4, what is the circumference? Circumference is 2 pi r. So circumference is 2 pi times 4. We substitute the 4. And we multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. So this is 8 pi. Now we can use Desmos. Let me bring up Desmos here. To find the decimal value, but remember pi is an irrational number, so it's going to be an infinitely long thing. So 8 pi, 8, type pi in Desmos, you get pi, 25.13. And notice I use an approximately equal to in this case. If I want to leave the answer exact, we would say the circumference is 8 pi. This is exact. This is approximate. Okay, so that's how we use the formula. Well, you might be asked to find the radius given the circumference, in which case we can use the formula c equals 2 pi r and just plug in what we know. C is 24, 2 pi r. Divide both sides by 2 pi. And r is 24 divided by 2 pi. That reduces to 12 divided by pi. Again, we can leave it exact like this, or we can approximate it by doing 12 divided by pi, 12/pi for Desmos here, 12/pi, 3.819 or 3.82 inches. This would be approximate, and 12 divided by pi would be exact. All right, so that's how we use the circumference formula. The area formula is kind of interesting. Consider a circle that's divided into wedges, like orange slices here. I've got it divided into 8 slices for now, and I've rearranged these wedge slices into an approximation of a rectangle. Now imagine, if you will, that I increase the number of wedge slices. So instead of 8, I do 16 or 32 or 100 slices, right? The slices would become super, super thin. And what we would get is this general shape, like so here. We would get a rectangle, or an approximation of a rectangle. Okay? Approximation of a rectangle. And we actually would need to go all the way over here. Okay? Approximation of a rectangle. And the height of the rectangle would be the radius of the circle, r. Because the radius, as they get super, super thin, the radius approximates the height of the slice, or it is the height of the slice. And the circumference, all the way around, makes up the top and the bottom together, right? So this is going to be the circumference divided by 2. Because this makes up halfway around the circle and the bottom makes up halfway around the circle. Now the area of a rectangle is length times width. So that is r times circumference divided by 2. Now we've already seen that circumference is 2 pi r. So r times circumference, 2 pi r divided by 2. The 2's cancel. And we get pi r r, which is pi r squared. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. Now I want you to compare these two formulas, c equals 2 pi r, and a equals pi r squared, a equals pi r squared right next to each other. Okay? They both have a 2. They both have a pi, they both have an r. That's what they have in common. What's different is circumference has the 2 in front. Area has the 2 on the right as the exponent. 2 pi r squared. Good way to remember them. Let's go ahead and use it. A equals pi r squared. Now I remember pi r squared from this. You know, the old lady at the pie judging contest said to the man, "My pi aren't squared, my pi are round." Pi r squared. However you remember it. Sillier the better. All right, so let's use it. We want to find the area of a circle with radius 3. So area is pi r squared. Area is pi times 3 squared. Area, 3 squared is 9, so is 9 pi. That would be exact. Or approximately, if we want to do approximate, 9 pi. 9 pi is 9 pi, 28.27. That would be approximate, where the other would be exact. Okay, and you might be given a problem like this. You're given the area and asked to find the radius. Okay, in which case, use the formula A equals pi r squared and plug in what you know. 400 equals pi r squared. Divide both sides by pi. Divide both sides by pi. Pi's cancel, leaving r squared equals 400 divided by pi. And then we do the opposite of squaring, which is square root. So r is the square root of 400 divided by pi. Now, square root of 400 does happen to be a simple number. It's 20. But the square root of pi is not. So this would be exact, 220 divided by square root pi. And then we could use a calculator to get a decimal. Now you could plug in square root 400 divided by pi, so SQRT 400 divide pi and get 11.28. Or you could do 20 divide square root of pi and get the same answer, 11.28. So 11.28 is approximate inches. Okay? All right, so that's how we use the formulas for the area of a circle and the area the area of a circle and the circumference of a circle. Just for memory's sake here, just to review, Circumference is 2 pi r. Remember, 2 pi are better than 1. Area is pi r squared. Remember, my pi aren't squared. My pi are round. A equals pi r squared.